So here we are, another ride in the car. So this little episode is about college. Yes, college, universities, 4-year establishments that often take you 5 to 6 years to get the degree. That's the first thing that should be the red flag when you start looking at colleges. Your friends that have gone to school, it's taken them 5 to 6 years to get through it. Even they say it's a 4-year school. College, number one. This is my take on college. When I was a kid, everybody told me to go to college. Go to college, go to college, go to college, go to college, go to college. It's the answer to everything. It's going to get you a job, said. Get you a better job than if you don't go to college. Well, college is a business. Universities are a business. They're a multi-billion-dollar business countrywide. It doesn't matter if it's a small, 2-year, a community college, or if it's, a big 4-year school. It's all about money, and they're there to sell products. They sell a product. It's called an education. They don't sell the product, let's go get these young kids jobs. It's all about, they take your money and you elect under your own free will to study something that they say is a good thing to study. And you go to school and you study architecture, or you study business, or you study philosophy, or you study English, or you study whatever you want to study. You can go and get a degree in just about anything. But the thing is that college does not in any way, shape, or form at all guarantee you anything after you graduate if you're happy, if you're lucky enough to be able to graduate. When I was a kid, again, I lived in a fantasy world, and I thought, college, I'll go to college and I'll get my degree and I can tell the world to screw off because now I've got my degree, and I'm going to walk into some giant corporation and hand them my diploma and say, look, I've got a degree. And they're going to go, oh, Mr. Tompkins, be still my heart, you have a degree? Let us shower you with money, please. Let us shower you. And quite the opposite happened. I got out of college and sent out applications and resumes, and these companies were like, who the hell are you? I couldn't find a job. I had no experience. I get these interviews, and they said, we don't have any experience. What can you offer me? They have these big intimidating interviews, and when you're younger, it looks very intimidating. Now I'm just like, whatever. But college is in the business of making money. They're not in the business of getting you a job. The number one thing you've got to know and you've got to think about college is it's about business. Your friends that have already graduated ahead of you from high school have gone out and gone deeply into debt. You don't have to go into debt to just becoming an attorney or a doctor or an architect. It doesn't matter what the degree is now. School is so expensive that you're going to go, if not tens of thousands of dollars into debt, hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. It depends on what you study, and it depends on how many supplies you got to buy. It depends on how long you stay in school. Whoa, hey there, dude. Yeah, you got it all figured out, don't you? So, I went the wrong way, didn't I? I sure did. Oh, well. So, another thing you got to consider is that the degree you choose to take, unless you know beyond a shadow of a doubt what you want to be when you grow up, I wouldn't go to college. Because if you get a degree in history, if you get a degree in human resources or English or philosophy, you may as well just take about $50,000 to $200,000 in cash in little laundry baskets, just dump it over the edge of a bridge somewhere. Because you're just throwing your money away. You're just throwing it away because an English major doesn't get you anything. You know, you might as well just be, you know, studying basket weaving or something. So, the things you need a degree for are like veterinarian medicine, anything medical, psychiatry, psychiatry, psychology or psychology. You know, anything medicine, engineering. If you want to be an accountant. You know, things that really take skill and precise things that you're really not going to be able to learn. You're not going to be able to learn how to take out someone's kidney on YouTube. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. I'm sure there's some type of documentary about that. Some guy, I was in the basement the other night and decided to take out my wife's kidney with an X-Acto knife, and it went quite well. She didn't die right away. So, I guess my point is, if you really don't know what you want to do and you go down there and go, I don't know, Dad, I'm going to go study history. I hope your dad sits down with you and said, look, unless you really got a good idea what you want to do, I wouldn't waste it. You're not getting my money. Another thing you've got to understand about college is that you're paying them. You're employing them. They work for you. These universities work for you because you're giving them money to give you a service in return. And the thing you're going to find out is they don't do what you want to do. They don't do it how you want to do it, and they don't care. They've got their own curriculums. They've got their own courses. They pick the teachers. They pick, you know, the books. They tell you what to read and how to read it, when to read it. You have absolutely no say in anything in college. You're paying, it's basically, you know, I know there's kids watching, so I don't want to, but you're paying for something that you're not really getting in return. You're basically paying for stuff that they've decided you should have. You know, I mean, if I went in, you know, think of it this way: if you went into a restaurant, a real fancy restaurant, and it was $1,000 a plate, and you said, you know, I'd like to have the prime rib with au jus sauce, and they said, no, you can't have that. You can only have a roast beef sandwich for $1,000. You'd be like, what the hell's your problem? I want the prime rib, right? That's what happens in college. You go to college and you say, well, I want this, and I'd like to take this at this time. It fits my schedule. Well, this is what they do. Nowadays, schools used to be on quarters, so you go 4 times a year. Now they're on semesters, and the semesters are longer. So you can only go twice a year. There's shorter terms. They break up the semester sometimes, but they get your money. Then they rope you in, so you have to take school for a longer period of time so they can get more money out of you. It's all about money. So you pay them your money, they get you in a semester program, and then to keep you even longer, say your freshman year you need basic basket weaving. I'm just using that to be silly, but say you need basic basket weaving, but they don't offer that this year. For some reason, the teacher had appendicitis and had to go to the moon to get it done, and they're gone for the year, and they had nobody to back it up. Now you've got to wait till fall of the next year to take basket weaving, you know. And then they do this thing where it's constantly like, oh, how do I fit this in here and how do I fit this in there? And then before you know it, you know, they got you for an extra semester because you got to wait another whole year to get this class. Another thing they do is they say you got a dual major. Well, I remember my degree was interpersonal communications, which is a totally bogus degree. Organizational communications with an emphasis in public speaking. And they told me in this degree, I get this degree, I can walk out into this world and go to a major corporation and say, I have a degree from a high university in interpersonal communication and organizational comm, and they'll hire me because companies are looking for people to help them streamline the communication process within, you know, their business. And they guaranteed me, they said, you know, there's jobs out there in this. So I get out of school. Anyway, so I get halfway through my junior year. I'm almost done. I got a year and a half left. And my academic advisor, who I find out now was just like some hippie that just, I don't know how these people become academic advisors. She tells me, oh, by the way, you really need to dual major in journalism to really do anything with this degree. And I'm like, dual major? I said, lady, I'm already $10,000 in debt. Where am I going to find the money to take another 2 years to complete the journalism courses? Well, I'm sorry, you should have known this. And you know, they give you back then there were these big thick books they'd mail out to you with all the classes and the descriptions of the degrees and the coursework involved. And if you didn't read it, I guess I didn't read it. And but there was nothing that said, attention, student, in order to make this interpersonal communications degree valid, you have to dual major in journalism. So anyway, what the funny thing is you're paying the university thousands upon thousands of dollars. These teachers work for you. You're employing them because you're paying them. You're paying the university to give you something and to give you a product that you can take out into the world to better yourself, right? That's what they tell you. That's how they sell it to you. So what happens is you're paying them. You get really bogus teachers. I'd say probably half the teachers you're going to run into are incompetent at best, especially at the community college level. Some of them really like, woohoo! I don't know where they find some of these people to teach the community colleges, but they must just go down to the bar, and say, hey, buddy, wake up. You want to go teach down at the community college? What? Yeah, I'll teach. Can I shoot up in class? Well, no, you can only shoot up in the restrooms. If you think I'm kidding, take some of these classes around here at the community colleges here in Cleveland. Woo! I've seen some real doozy teachers. I don't know how they got their jobs. I don't know how they keep them. I have no idea. But the thing is, you've got to sit down with this attitude like, I'm paying you guys thousands of dollars. My dad or my mom's paying you thousands of dollars, and this is all I get. And I'll give you an example. I have taken graphic design classes now at 3 individual universities in 2 different states. 3. I'm a schmuck. I'll admit it. I'm a schmuck because I've wasted my money and my time, because I keep thinking one day somebody's going to show me how to design. Not a single teacher at any school at any time has ever said to me, Pete, this is how you design. This is what you got to look for when you design. Everything I know about design, I learned on my own. I bought books on it. And back when there were bookstores like Borders Books and Barnes & Nobles. I don't know if you even know if Barnes & Nobles is still around. I did research on it on the internet. I found out about composition. But the one thing I did learn in college that I had never thought about was color. And how color works and affects in a design. But nobody has ever said to me, this is how you should lay something out. This is a good way to do it. This is a basic foundation of design. I have never, ever seen anybody show anybody that. And I remember I was sitting next to this guy, and our assignment in class was to design a business card in Adobe InDesign. And in 2 seconds he was done. And I was really depressed. I'm like, how did this kid, half my age, come up with this amazing design with just a basic color scheme and well organized and thought out? As a teacher, hey, what's up with Johnny's design there? He's really good. He goes, well, you have to understand, Johnny works and does this all day at work. He just taken this class because it's a requirement for his company. So he already knows how to do all this stuff. I don't know. So you're going to run into, another thing to run into in college are people like that, especially in art classes, that are old farts like me that have done this for a long time. You're just taking it to learn the software or something, and then they throw shit out. Pardon language, I shit. Parents, cover your kid's ears, he's swearing. Oh. You're going to run into old farts like me that are in the class that have already been doing this for a long time, and they can throw things out, and it can be discouraging for a younger student that doesn't know that. So, but one thing to consider and to really put it in perspective is this: why are you going to college? Number one, think about what you want to do with your life. If you know in your heart you're happy working in a factory, and your dad did it for 40 years and retired from it, there's not many factories anymore. I'm just using this as an example. If you're a blue-collar type of kid and you know you don't want to go to college, then don't go to college. Try to find something that is going to help you out and have a career in a solid foundation, which is extremely hard to do anywhere in the country now. But if you're going to go to college, make sure you know that this is a degree that is going to get you a job. And you sit down with these people, these academic advisors, long before you sign the dotted line and give them your money. Say, here, I want some statistics to show me where the jobs are. Show me companies that are hiring in my field. Show me the money, Show me what I'm getting for my money, because you're paying them. They're working for you. You're writing a check. Your parents are writing a check to these people that come up with these classes and this curriculum, are sitting around a big oak table. I'm speaking metaphorically. They've got a bottle of brandy and a cigar, and like, well, how can we make more money this year from the youngins and their parents? And that's what they do. How can we make more money? Well, why don't we throw basket weaving in only every other year so that keeps them here an extra time? And I know there's going to be people out there, if there happen to be any people that see this, are going to go, well, you're just a bitter guy because you picked a bad degree. Now, there's lots of people out there that pick crappy degrees. Don't study history. It won't get you anything. Philosophy, unless you're going to become a priest or a minister or go into some type of religious thing. Do not study English. English majors, they always look good, There's always some really hot chick with black turtleneck on and thick rimmed glasses with her hair pulled back, and she's reading, I'm not a literature expert, but Louisa May Alcott or whatever, she's sitting there in a coffee shop reading some book with, I don't know. Forget the English majors. If you just don't know what you want to do, I would go into the military before I go to college, because at least in the military you're going to learn some discipline and some skill. College doesn't teach you anything of that. And the thing about college is, once you get your degree, once this degree, if you're lucky enough to get it, you go to this big ceremony they call graduation, which we all go through junior high and high school, like crap. And then you get to shake the hand of some speaker, like at my commencement. It's probably the best part of college. Man, I can't remember the woman's name now. So sad. Loretta Scott King, is that her name? I think it's Martin Luther King's wife, I think. Forgive me, all of you history buffs and experts on Martin Luther King, but I'm not. I'm sorry. I really respect the man's work and all that stuff. But anyway, so you get your degree, and you graduate. You never hear from the school again unless you owe them money. They have every school has a career services thing too. They have a career services department, and they're all like, they've got resume writing services, and they've got how to take an interview services, and all these things. They got all these things that it's kind of like icing on the cake. That's what I call the tickle the nipples. Oh, we're gonna tickle their nipples, make them think they're gonna get something. What they do is they provide something that they're not really providing anything. It's all smoke and mirrors, because they tell you how to. I mean, it kind of is and it kind of isn't, because I'll tell you this: in the real world, and you know this, your resume is digital. And unless you have it in a PDF format or something like that, it's going off into a database, into a server somewhere, and a computer scans it for keywords. A human doesn't even look at it at first. And nowadays, the economy's so bad, companies get literally between 500 to 1,500 resumes per job that they have open. So there's not a human being sitting there going, you know what? This resume looks like shit. I think we're just going to throw it in the round file. They don't even print them out. And the chances of somebody who really is looking at the aesthetics of a resume, this day and age is very slim. You know, and if they know what they're even looking at, probably not. Another thing is they're gonna sell you all this stuff about interviewing, and there are certain skills you can learn about interviewing. But what schools really need to do is say, hey, you got this job, you got this degree through us, you spent $100,000 with us over 4 or 5 years, whatever the number is. Let's go and help you get a job now. We're gonna bring people on campus, recruiters and stuff, but it's all crap. I remember this guy with Aetna Insurance came on to High University, and there was like some type of career day. I'm all nervous. I got my little blue blazer with my red tie on and my white shirt, and he's like, "Hi, Pete, how you doing?" And I shake his hand. "I'm doing pretty good. How are you?" "Tell me, Pete, can you sell?" I said, "Excuse me?" He goes, "Well, this is a sales position. Sell me this pen right now. Sell me this pen. Tell me what the characteristics of this pen are. Tell me what would make me want to buy this pen." I went, well, thanks a lot, Pete.